he's going to be better than Golden Tate, man. He's so dynamic. Look at the weapon that he is running the football. He's a star, man. He is our Cooper Kupp. He is our Justin Jefferson. I've been dying to see a Detroit Lion catch the ball, fall on the ground, get up and score from laying on his stomach. I've been dying to see that. Guys made plays. You don't draw that up. Throw it up. Amon-Ra, come down with it. And he came down with it. Amon-Ra St. Brown. I'm planting the flag. Dude's a star.
Stud.
He's a star. Look at the air he's in right now. Look at the numbers he's putting up. Mm-hmm. When you're talking 8 catches a game for 7, 8, 9 games in a row, whatever those numbers are, when you're in the company that he's in, when you're in the company that he's in with the Detroit greats at the wide receiver spot, I'm planting the flag right now. So now I got 2. I got 2 stars, and I'm going to get to Penei Sewell next segment. I got 2 bona fide stars that I'll ride with that are on rookie deals. And yes, guys, I will give you the qualifier. Amon-Ra St. Brown's entire rookie contract is less than Kenny Golladay will make in September. Yes, the Kenny Golladay that played 2 plays yesterday.
That's becoming that's like me saying it's not the what, it's the who.
That's how you win in the NFL.
It is. And, if we're talking about yesterday, too, what we talked about last week, T, bounce backs, right? Can we see some consistency either on the high end of what Malcolm Rodriguez did last week? Could he continue to do that? And what was the big thing? Can Aiden Hutchinson come back? And I guess the big difference is that if you don't have a mobile quarterback, you might be in trouble, because the big thing with Hutchinson yesterday is he had those sacks from different positions. They moved him around the defensive line, and the last one was the most impressive, Neal, when he sort of looped in late, right down the middle, and you could, from where I was sitting, to sort of see it coming, and that had to be scary. So I think that answering what we were questioning last week about Hutchinson having abysmal, to say the least, start to his career, came back strong yesterday. Stats will prove
I think he learned something that's important called gap integrity. The Lion coaches talked about...
Wait, is this stories with T-Foss?
No, I'm just simply saying the Lion coaches talked about guys who tried to play beyond their means, guys who played out of position. I think they were talking about Aiden Hutchinson. Aiden Hutchinson, I don't think his first week was awful. He was able to get penetration. The problem was he went right by Jalen Hurts, and Jalen Hurts went and got his 15, 20 yards. But I know Wentz is not a mobile quarterback, but I think Hutchinson learned his lesson. He played the run first, then rushed the quarterback, saw where the quarterback was, kept his quote-unquote gap integrity, and played a better game. And I think even if the Lions faced a mobile quarterback, not saying the guy wouldn't have gotten his yards, but Hutchinson would have been better because he learned his lesson from the first week, that you just can't rush up the field. You gotta stay within your gaps and do your job and not worry about doing other people's job.
In the YouTube chat thread, D. Smitty says, I didn't even know Kenny G was still playing. Well, don't worry. The Giants accounting front office, and they know he's still playing. 4 years, $72 million, $18 million per. They know he's playing. You know what I'm saying? So
couldn't I check every other week?
Absolutely. So they're more than aware, even though he plays 2 plays. But again, for me, and he's getting a lot of comps to Golden Tate. He's gonna be better than Golden Tate, man. You can loop this, record it, you can put it out there. He's so dynamic. Look at the weapon that he is running the football.
Would you say like Steve Smith? Steve Smith is a better comp? Or?
Yeah, that's the comp, but he's stronger. You know what I'm saying? He plays bigger.
Yeah.
He just needs the football in his hand. And you know what? You know what was the biggest thing for me? And it wasn't just the touchdown in and of itself. It wasn't the touchdown in a vacuum. It's what that touchdown represented with the Lions. When I talked earlier about guys made plays, you don't draw that up. Throw it up. Amon-Ra, come down with it. And he came down with it. That's what I'm talking about, man. That's your weapon. That's your guy. Throw it up. Go get it.
You're talking about weapons, right? You're talking about that consistently. It's
Make
not,
a play.
It's not a one-off. He's consistently going out and doing.
And he's doing it every week.
Every week. You mentioned the end-around run. I got fooled. Watching the play, there was about 5 of us sitting beside each other, watching the fake handoff and not picking up St. Brown. So he's dynamic. He works hard. We saw that. I think that the explanation of having hard knocks, Neal, is of going back, is you can see that it ain't a flyer. It ain't a misnomer. This is the real deal, and you should be grateful.
The data sample just crossed the line. That's what he is.
It's got to be over, right? I mean, as far as if I had my clock on Amon-Ra St. Brown, it expired.
It expired,
and you're grateful that you have. And then you look at it and go, "Whoa, what's the contract situation?" And then you're
$1 million
like,
a year.
"Are you kidding me?"
But you know what he is? He's a possession receiver and a playmaker rolled into one.
Right.
In the NFL, you're either a possession receiver or you're a guy that can go up and get a 50-50 ball. You can't do both.
Isn't he more
He
your Cooper
can
Kupp?
do both.
Right. And you can give it to him in the run game. And I see on here, People Pleaser says Steve Smith is way faster. Right, but Amon-Ra St. Brown is way stronger. And I'll take that.
Steve Smith was pretty strong, though.
He was. No, and he was a great player.
But wouldn't the comparable be more is that you would say that he's your Cooper Kupp? You know what I mean?
Not a different style or whatever, but he is what Cooper Kupp represents.
Right.
That's what Amon-Ra St. Brown is.
Yes.
He is your Cooper Kupp.
Right.
Contract in it? Well, no, because Cooper Kupp's $25 million a year guy.
Hell yeah.
But look at what Kupp, right? But that's just recently. He earned that contract, right? So really getting to the Super Bowl or creating, it's just being the consistent. And as long, again, what's the biggest thing? So you're not, if he's out on the field, he's going to produce. So it's availability. You got to keep him healthy.
Do you need to mark me here? Do you need to reel me back in on Amon-Ra St. Brown?
No, but you know what's going to happen? He's going to continue to produce. I don't think the NFL is really paying attention to him. This is a guy that could produce Pro Bowl numbers and not make the Pro Bowl. Simply because the Lions are not going to win 12 or 13 games. I think the league is falling asleep on this guy. So we could be having the same conversation about Amon St. Brown that we had with Cade Cunningham as far as winning Rookie of the Year. Just a gut feeling right now.
Well, in the YouTube chat poll, Spencer put it up there. Will Amon-Ra St. Brown be a Pro Bowler this year? 94% of the people, and we're pushing 200 votes, say yes. And I know the hopium's still fresh in the veins, but he's a star, man. He is our Cooper Kupp. He is our Justin Jefferson. He's your dude. And it seems to me where the relationship with Goff, most importantly, out of all the discussions we're having, he's Goff's Justin Jefferson. You know what I'm saying?
Or Goff's Cooper Kupp.
Or Goff's Cooper Kupp.
And think about
he's
this.
been around Goff the most. I mean, they've thrown passes at each other. They know each other better.
Here's the comfortability, because you saw that day one with Josh Reynolds, and you continue to see it to this day of Jared Goff and Josh Reynolds in their synchronicity. The beauty is, right? Think about this, Neal. So that's your go-to guy. That's your go-to guy, your security blanket, whatever. You're working this. And then you know what? In what week, 7, 8, or whatever, you're going to add that Lamborghini and something, I know Chark's got speed and can do stuff, but he's not Jameson Williams. So when you have that, then you have something else that's a different luxury. That might help put him over the edge. Now, are you going to take some balls away from him? Possibly, but it's not. It's like you mentioned, playmakers.
But when you're up, and this is my huge thing.
When you need a play to be made.
When you're up against it, who's the dude?
Right, because that was his touchdown catch.
I love
sort
that.
of scramble and got the defender on roller skates, and he was going down, but he was there to make the play.
It goes back, right? And I've been consistent with that. And I know some of you will say, but didn't you sit on this microphone last Friday and say, if you lose this game, the season's over? And yeah, but every game's in a vacuum, and the circumstances change. When new information presents itself, the circumstances change. The truth changes. And yes, that's true. I'm more excited. And again, we got the clock and everything like that. I've told you guys since minute one when I stepped on this desk, and started doing this show. I told you guys, man, this is a 2-year free roll right now. D-Mac, we cooked up the clock. This is where we are. The way that they won the game yesterday is something that I've been searching for a long time with this football team. Does it mean they've arrived? No. Do they get flowers? Does that qualify for the playoffs? No, it doesn't. It's the fashion in which they did it. I've been dying to see playmakers. I've been dying to see a Detroit Lion catch the ball, fall on the ground, get up and score from laying on his stomach. I've been dying to see that. I've been dying to see them dominate a line of scrimmage and have almost as many points in the first half as the DC Commanders had yards. That was domination.
First half was.
That was domination, what we saw. And they rolled that to a win. Did it get sticky for a minute? Guess what? It got sticky for the Rams for a minute. They were up 28-3. That's the nature of this league.
It's the NFL, and the fact is, Washington made adjustments, but then we readjusted. And the fact that what I liked
See, it wasn't even that to me. It wasn't even that to me.
It was the offense.
Yeah.
To me, it was you didn't get bogged down waiting to go 3 and out and give them momentum. It was the bend but not break on the defense. But again, it's to be able to put the points on the board that they do.
And Terry, to me, that's the biggest thing. It wasn't an adjustment. Somebody made a play. When the pressure was on and we thought, oh my God, here it goes again, DeAndre Swift made a play that can't be drawn up. He made a play.
Listen, I'll tell you, and if anybody who was there, how many times was 67 eligible yesterday? Like literally 8 times. And every time 67 was eligible, they'd at the end, be a tight end, they'd run Hawk over to them, they'd run that side, and they just kept pounding. It's one of those things that Washington didn't have an answer to. So they made plays, Neal. Bottom line is that they executed plays, and maybe that's what we're not used to seeing on a consistent level that we saw yesterday.
Yeah.
You're not. This team has lacked playmakers.
Dudes.
You can get quality football players to go out and do their job, and that's fine. But at some point, you need guys who make special plays. They can break one for 50 yards, which overshadows the fact that you went 3 and out 3 straight times. So I didn't think the Lions played consistent offense yesterday, but when they had to have the hammer, they were able to put the hammer down on Washington, and that's important.
Yeah, and made play. Again, I'm going to keep going back to it, man, because I don't feel as though that this is getting its due credit. That's what's different. People say, what's different? Yeah, they won a game and stuff like that. The nature and the way they won is different, and we haven't seen it here. We haven't seen it here for a very, very long time.
There's another significance. It shows that they can do this. So when people say, oh, the Lions, they're not good enough, they can't do anything, what do you expect from them? Well, we saw at least for one day what this team is capable of.
Right.
They're capable of keeping a lead, watching a team come back, because that's what's going to happen in the NFL. Other teams are going to come back on you, but then you've got to stay one step ahead of the game, and that's what they did. So they're capable of doing this. We know this. Right. Now it's about them actually doing this.